Hello, 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 everybody, and how is it going out there in the internet world? Here we are once again for Orchard, our not so grim, dark adventure. It's been a bit lenient in the drow city of sin and sex and slavery. Basically, it's a drow city. What do you want, people? Um, yeah, so let's go around and cast some curious, see how everyone is, and whoever wants to do a recap can. How's everyone doing?
Good. I'm doing great. Hey guys, it's NPC Bree. I'm playing Sayeli, everyone's favorite angry stabby rogue, level 16 arcane trickster Soul Woman. Trying to make sure all my friends aren't dead. But knowing them, they're probably super dead.
Nice, nice. I'm glad everyone is doing good. It's our sadly it's one of our characters' last games today. Last playing forever, never to return.
No, never coming back.
Just no, never gonna give you up. Never gonna tear you down. I'm gonna kill your character.
I mean, if my plane does crash, then
Don't even stop talking. Don't say that. Stop talking. Shush. Manunu.
How weird is it gonna be after you said that if you like find out that I died in a plane crash?
Why are
It's
you
gonna
saying
feel
these
very
things?
ominous.
Why are you saying you're literally bringing this on yourself?
You're not gonna have to let us know what flight you're taking, because now I'm just legitimately worried.
I'll text you from the afterlife.
I'm gonna need hourly updates. God. And I'm not happy, funny note. The recap of last session. Who wants to go?
I guess I can do it. Y'all can help fill in some of the gaps. So the last session was the aftermath of our act of terrorism in the middle of
Jesus, yeah.
in the middle of the town, where we killed a lot of NPCs in one go.
People, thank you. The people. NPCs are people too.
NPCs
and family.
NPCs.
I named all of them.
Okay, jeez. Well, I'm gonna need you to list out all of those names right now in an obituary for every single one.
Oh, there's gonna be a title screen at the end.
Just have that whatever that what was it, the MSPCA or whatever, the animal one with Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What if we did like a Greyhawk newspaper where every day we published a fake newspaper with all of the deaths
of the NPC? Local man was killed today with wild missile attack.
PC deaths get a full article.
Group of mercenaries blow up city, kill 800 people.
Anyway,
I should have added like a title screen at the end of the episode. This is like the names going by.
Super fast.
In memory, yeah, in memory of.
Anyways, say Ellie met after stealthing her way out of out of the search for her and any really green cloak in the area. She made a deal with the Bone Man, known as the Shepherd, right? That was the Shepherd?
Shepherd, yeah.
Shepherd.
Daddy Skelly.
Yeah.
Daddy Bones.
Proprietor of the Stone Slab. He guided her through. It's the Ghetto of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To where the place that Kieran was. Kieran, in the meantime, had a really heartfelt chat with Triana, and then other heartfelt moments. And then a not so heartfelt chat with his mother. and he struck a deal as well with her to acquire some stuff for her. We're really racking up these quests here. Neil was beaten down by Clavdra's guards and then forced to make a deal with her later on to get Seraphina out of jail. Seraphina was in jail and then was released. Well, not released, but released into the custody of Clavdra's people. She joined Neil in the deal that rhymed.
And when
but-
she was imprisoned,
Yeah, she
the
didn't
guy
really-
who claimed to be Bakab. My
That's
God.
right.
Oh,
That's right. You had the conversation with the guy with the weird knees,
claimed
known
to
as
be
Bakab.
I know, right? I mean, was. But like, okay, Neil.
Yeah. I have a note about someone. Oh yeah, Sayeli named this random like revenant type creature. It's Heather.
Mhm.
I have that written down for some reason. Let's see.
My best friend.
We had my mother release some news that there was plans to release Hughes from his sort of imprisonment of sorts
Mhm.
any day now. Let's see.
Well, not any day. She wanted you to do a quest.
Yeah.
In the lower dark to find a.
I need to get a map of Castle
Greyhawk,
Greyhawk.
yeah. To help
And
with
then a
that.
Clavdar wants some powerful rod from an old temple of Nuftuf? Hus?
Mhm. Natas.
Hus?
Natas.
Which and then Sally and Kieran met up and we went to the stone slab to speak with the Bone Man.
Bone Man.
That's most of the session.
You got branded.
Yeah, there was the branding of Neil and Seraphina.
Yeah, right on her
Neil
neck.
thinks it's a tattoo.
Yeah, the great branding of 2019.
What does the symbol look like? Did you say?
So it's the L-Serve symbol. So it's kind of like a stylized, kind of like an E, but like a spider leg with kind of just like fancy elven writing, but it's like a circle around it. That's kind of like thickly and branded around.
So it's the symbol for house. Okay. Okay.
And it's magical, so it stops you from like trying to kill a Clavdra, because she doesn't want her slave to try and kill her. It's just bad forte. It's magical, so allow her to communicate with you anywhere as long as you're on the same plane as her.
As long as we're on the same plane. Okay.
Mhm.
Can I communicate with the other tattoo buddies?
Yes.
Ooh.
Tattoo buddies.
Yeah. Because how else are you
Like-
supposed to know what your master wants,
Yeah.
and other people know if you're supposed to, in different parts of the place.
I'd be like, hey mom, can I have a snack, please?
You have to press it to activate.
No, he doesn't. He just does it.
Neil coming in. Roger,
Clavdra's
Roger, copy.
She's gonna be so confused.
I mean, he also thought it was a tattoo, so.
What the hell? She's gonna be like, what the hell are they talking about?
I just have to mute this part.
Can she listen in on us all the time?
You don't know.
I bet she can.
Okay, so yeah, that was it. Take in inspiration there.
Y'all should think really dirty dots to her the whole time.
I mean,
Nibble, 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 nibble.
she's just there in the corner, just like
Oh,
shimmering.
that's something I missed.
Jesus Christ.
Seraphina was unfortunately denied her titties last session, I guess. Go watch. There's a clip of it somewhere.
I don't even know if I was denied. I don't know that I didn't beseech to see the nipples, but I was curious.
You were angry curious.
Very aggressive, curious
I
about
was
Yeah.
frightened. I was frightened about what would happen if I could see them.
Are they alive? Can they hear my thoughts?
Are they like little beholder eyes? They're gonna like.
Do they
shoot
know I'm
rays
looking?
at you?
Yeah.
So, Jesus. So, winding in. we see Say Ellie and Kieran in the Slabstone Inn. You've just walked in to get more information. Inside, you see a large hubbub. There are patrons in, you see humans, drow, drinking, eating. You also see a number of zombies and revenants serving food or in scantily dressed. As this is a brothel and the stone slab caters to every taste. And also the occupants here seem to have this air about them. They all have these like staffs or wands and wearing these robes. You can all kind of guess that they are some kind of magic user. Mostly humans here, but mixed in with drow. And even some elves as well. You walk in and you see behind the bar, kind of wiping it down, you see Shepard. Finely dressed, gold chain, rings on the hands. Just wiping it, and you see sitting at the bar, turning around as you enter, Sayeli and Kieran. You see Zanzibar turning around.
Kieran, I don't think has actually met Zanzibar personally.
Mm-hmm.
I think you may have seen him, but not met him. So, but Kieran's just like interesting place he brought me to, Sally. Real interesting crowd you run with.
We're just looking for a man that is a skeleton. She says that. She kind of just walks by Zanzibar.
Aren't there like a couple of skeletons in here?
A very specific skeleton with a covered in gold jewelry.
How many people does that describe?
Do we see?
Yeah, you see him behind the bar. Like he's like the first thing you see coming in.
Oh well, I'm gonna just beeline that way, pulling Kieran by the wrist.
Zanzibar is there as well, at the bar, like looking at you as you kind of walk in. Kind of like waves towards you. As Shepard kind of looks towards you as well. The kind of like bleached white, kind of ivory bones, just the black holes. But you see a smile creep up at the sides as he sees you, Sailor.
Shepard, my dear friend. It's good to see you again. All in one piece.
Good. I didn't think I'd see you so soon, Sally. But it's good to get your acquaintance. Can I get you a drink on the house?
Whereas I would greatly appreciate that, I actually was wondering if there was any possibility I could pay you for some assistance.
And you see Zanzibar kind of look towards you and just goes, "Oh, so that's your name."
Sally kind of looks at him, and she kind of makes like a sheepish face, kind of like a. You never know the right person to tell your true name to. She nods her head.
Indeed. I won't hold it against you.
Wait, I thought your name was Head.
You always have to be careful in these kinds of circumstances. You never know who's trying to take advantage of one person. Shepard just kind of like wipes the desk down, kind of like puts the rag to one side. What are you trying to get? I'm interested.
We're trying to find a way through the city unseen. We're looking for some missing companions, and it also seems we have made a few enemies within the city.
I see. Well, you can guess I don't really need coin. So what else are you willing to trade? Oh, and yes, you've already charmed me, so I'm willing to hear.
Well, that is a great question, my dear friend. What is it that a powerful innkeeper, master of the dead, would require?
What do I want? And just as he's about to speak, Sanzabada says, "You know, I heard from one of my associates that there was a great hubbub happening, and that Belle has made a deal with someone. A Clavdra."
Well, she turns her to look at Kieran. Perhaps a Clavdra is where our friends are. You said they were making a deal as well. I'm sure your mother is making a deal with her.
Probably. I mean, do they have power? Are their morals in question? More than likely, morals leaning on the evil side. Probably making a deal. Useful. I wouldn't be surprised.
So,
I can help you for free, if you wish.
well, I feel like that is asking so much of your kindness after you've already assisted me.
Oh, well, I believe you're with Neil, right? Me and him had a excavation of arcane activities when you were trapped in that painting. It's good to see you made it out, by the way. I thought you were dead when the spell didn't work.
I only die, I guess, when I'm ready to die. I haven't quite reached that point yet.
Let's hope not too soon. If you want my aid, I can help it. And then Shepard just goes, "Hey, wait. Hold on. You came to me in my establishment.
Fight over me, please."
I'd be willing to help you for a gem. It's a stone. It's a soul stone. I would like one."
Not
You-
another quest.
Where could I obtain a soul stone? I don't have much experience with handling such things.
Well, you were going to Sarcoma Keep, and if that's where your friend was, you clearly have access. Good old Telegrass has a few of them in their possession. I'm sure they wouldn't mind such welcome guests to borrow one.
Sally looks at Kieran. She's
I mean,
there.
I was awake for I saw like one tower. All right, like I I was not there on like sightseeing. I'm quite frankly amazed I'm alive right now, to be honest.
Zanzibar says, "Well, I'll just help you, just because you're a friend of a friend."
Well, unfortunately, I don't believe it will be quite as easy as for us to get into the keep. I don't know how welcome of guests we are, but I will make it, whether you help me or not, my dear friend, a top priority to try and get a soul stone into your hands.
Do these soul stones normally have like a monetary value? Like, can we buy one off of him?
Oh no, they're quite rare. They're only really useful to those of the undead or lich persuasion.
Is
Ah,
there a way to make one?
Not unless you're a powerful sorcerer or wizard who knows the depths of the art of necromancy.
Nope. Not here.
No, unfortunately. I know some magic, but not magic that great.
I know one type of necromancy, and that's making people dead.
Well, funnily enough, they're doing the same, so you're halfway there, boy.
Well, I mean, Sally, we could try. I don't know how much pull I'd have there. It's more my mother that's a guest there, and I really don't want to make another deal with her, if possible. If possible.
Well, let us find our friends alive, and then we will go about a side mission of finding you a perfect soul stone, soul gem. But
There's no rush. I have time to kill.
I think Kieran chuckles at that. Just like, quickly hides it.
These old bones know a few jokes. And Sanswater says, so where were you wishing to go? You said you needed to be unseen?
well, it seems like we need to get ourselves to the home of a Clafdra without the guards maiming us.
Preferably.
Well, it just so happens I have a teleportation circle to Clavdra's temple.
That seems rather convenient. What did you say your name was?
Oh, I'm Zanzibar. I'm a dignitary and ambassador here for the
Cool.
Brotherhood.
That seems rather convenient, Zanzi.
Well, Kieran, there's something that you need to understand about the power of the Brotherhood. They have ties everywhere.
Well, I will defer to your judgment here then, Sally.
I will walk through any portal to make sure my friends are not dead. No matter how crazy they drive me, if they are going to die, it will be by one of our hands for something stupid that they do.
Alright, and just then, the door swings open, and you see a human walk in. He's carrying what looks to be a body in a sheet, a white sheet. And like he just kind of comes in and goes to the other end of the bar and just kind of goes, "Ugh," puts it down. There you go. That's for Telegrass. Can you get me a cold one, please? All right, I can do that. It's not gonna leak, is it? No, the body's fine. It's quite singed. All right.
Can Sally go and peek over at the body?
Sure. Run me a perception check.
I can do a perception check.
You kind of look over a bit, and you see some of the cloth has been kind of moved around, and you see like one half of the face is charred, it's completely like destroyed, and the other half of the face is shockingly familiar, as it's Elizabeth Law.
Sally's going to look at Shepard. Is there a reason why you're collecting this particular body?
Oh, I'm not. He brought it in. It's a way station. I think he's just taking a rest. You know, those livings and their tiredness.
Sally's gonna look at the human and say, "What is your plan with this body?"
Wipes like the mustache from the beer. I'm sending it to Telegas. He wants it. Special order.
What would it cost to take this body off your hands for you?
Across Telegas? You don't have enough money in here, like St. Lou. let alone an escape plan. Lord of
Sally's
Night gets what he wants.
Sally's gonna look at Kieran. It's Elizabeth Law.
Yeah, I see that.
I assure you, small human, if I wanted this body, I could take it and be gone long enough for him to think you were just taking your time for a drink.
I would ask, Miss Sally, you respect my patrons and my house, not threaten those who come in doing that work.
Sally's going to look at Shepard. I need this corpse.
Then I suggest you speak with Telegas and not threaten a simple delivery boy.
Fine. That's fine. Well, simple delivery boy, if we give you our word to deliver this to Telegas, will you let us carry the body then? Perhaps we can get a soul gem. We can find a way to keep Elizabeth Law's corpse. And have Seraphina rise it.
No, well, you can come with me. Look, I've been given an order by Telegas, and I'm not gonna shirk that, no matter whatever you say or how much money you give me.
I've been given a lot of orders by this corpse. And if I'm going to keep taking orders from this corpse, I will need to find a way to take it.
You hear the guy say, "Yeah, join the club."
He's like, look, Zanzibar, where's your teleportation circle to Aklavdras?
In the tower that's next to Telegas's keep.
Cool.
Pleasant, it'll be on
Saley,
the way.
why don't we follow this messenger boy? See if we can make a deal with Telegas, I suppose. As long as it doesn't involve my mother. And then we can head over and to the tower and Zanzibar can do his thing.
Yes, it's right there. And he kind of points out a window, and you realize it's the same tower you came from.
Great. Just where I wanted to go. Well, your call, Sally.
I mean, we let her die once. Not let.
I mean, murdered her.
Hey, listen, Sayeli was not the one who killed her. She said create a distraction. So she's going to look very pointedly at Kieran. Kieran, let us see if we can bring her some sort of peace, get some understanding of what happened to our guild.
Fine. You don't have to. You don't have to guilt me. Look, I did. Who drives?
It's good. Dig your own hole.
Look, as I said, it's your call, but I'll follow your lead. And I suppose we want to see if we can get Elizabeth Law back.
Okay, so that's the plan. While we're there, dear Shepherd, as you are such a kind friend of mine, I will see what it would require to borrow a soul gem for you.
Now when you say borrow, do you mean borrow or borrow?
Kieran is none of our business. These are the matters of the dead.
I mean, it's gonna matter because whether we're negotiating a rental fee or a never gonna see this thing again fee.
While he's talking, while he says these things, Sally pulls out a pair of gloves from her bag and puts on the gloves of thievery. We will borrow it however we need, Kieran.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I will leave that to you as well.
You might want to have like a lower conversation next time. Many people praise Tadagas for the patronage. I'm just kind of saying, just, lower the tone of your conspiracy talk.
No, it's fine. We will speak honestly with others as we will speak honestly with Telegas. Now, my dear friend, have you finished your drink? Because it appears you have a delivery to make.
Really is no rest for the wicked.
Nope. I can assure you there is none, even in death.
Shepard kind of like tips at that and continues wiping down the bar. Zanzibar kind of goes, "I'll be waiting at my my room in the tower. Be sure to just walk right in, and with your intention of being there, you'll get there."
All right, off we go.
Gotcha, Zanzibar. Zanzi.
Mhm. And you guys go
Zanzi,
out.
old
You walk out. Zanzibar gives you a quizzical look, like, okay. And we kind of flash over to a nice room in Eclavitra's main manor. You and Neil have been kind of put in the same room. It's very nice. For like very nice silken sheets, like a nice lavender drape. The room is kind of decorated, very nice elven stylized way. There are still like tapestries on the walls of loaf and things like that, but take those down. This could be a very nice inn.
Neil, when I was in jail before I was pulled out by some of the Clapter's guards, I had a rather strange cellmate.
You're muted, yeah. Your mic is muted.
You alright?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Did he have like 6 fingers on one hand or something?
Well, he did have very
'Cause I met somebody one time
with 6 fingers on one hand.
2 pinkies. Yeah.
What? What hand was it?
Left.
Wow. How was he able to do everything normally? Like, could he grasp things? Was he a sword
Yeah, oh,
fighter?
yeah. No, yeah. Yes. I was envious to be perfectly honest. So was
That
it like
is-
that?
That is strange. No, it wasn't quite like that. He did have very ugly knees, but he claimed to be Bacab.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
I feel that you're not properly surprised. So I'm going to repeat myself because I think perhaps you're still thinking about the man you met with 6 fingers. I was in a jail cell with Bacab,
Well,
the
come on.
god that you worship.
Bacab, listen, Seraphina. Some gods might take a mortal form to mess with our world, but Bacab is known as Bacab the Uncaring. All he cares about is magic. Doesn't know who I am. Doesn't care if I live or die. All he cares about is magic. I
Yeah,
learned more about life in the last month traveling with all of you than I did in 30 years in the Temple of Magic.
Well, that's hardly Bacab's fault. Did you ever leave the Temple of Magic?
No,
Well,
sometimes.
that's besides the point. How much you've learned. I don't think that's true that Bacab doesn't care about you.
I know that's true.
We all care in different ways. Some people care with hugs and things like that, and some people care by ignoring you for decades as you continue to worship at their altar. But really, they do care. You see what I'm saying?
All right, so what did this crazy person with the weird knees, what did he say to you?
Well, he said that he and I were married, and that was very strange. He said that the multiverse had a use for me.
Mhm.
Good question. Did you write that down?
Yeah.
So
Well, because he said that when I thought he was Archie, and so I was really confused about.
so he was hitting on you, basically.
I don't think he was hitting on me. I didn't quite get that vibe. Now
You
I'm
said you
trying
were
to.
married, right?
Yeah. Well, he did.
And the
say that.
multiverse had a use for you. Did
Do
he
you
talk about your destiny at all?
Not really. He did ask me a question and then said that my answer was better but disappointing.
Hmm.
I don't remember if he told me that he had seen Neil.
He did.
He
said
did.
He
Okay.
spoke to Neil, and he even mentioned the slaves.
Yes, that's right. Okay.
You did mention that your answer was better than Neil's, but still disappointing.
But still disappointing. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah. I wrote a lot about what he physically looked like and then not a lot else about that.
When Daddy Bacab likes someone better than you.
Very confusing. He seemed to know that I was about to be taken into a Calavdra's company because he told me not to bite my tongue, which I think was his way of telling me that I am meant to be branded and I'm meant to be in her service, which is why I didn't raise a fuss when you had already made a deal with her. I think whatever's happening, it's what Bacab expects. I don't know if it's what he wants, but it's what he expects.
Well, like, Seraphina, I don't want to just poo-poo you here.
And
so-
I have a feeling that you will.
and I don't want to just humor you. So I'm going to just be a little open-minded to the possibility that this ancient, uncaring, magic-obsessed entity has decided to come here to pretend to be a prisoner to comment on the things that we're doing, which, you know, I just don't think he cares like that.
He did say that he had run into you. What did he tell you?
I've never run into him. Never.
Hmm.
Did he have his staff of the Magi, the very first staff of the Magi ever made?
He did have a staff with him, a cane,
Oh. Well,
and a beard.
Nope. Then say beard.
Nope, I made that up.
well that just doesn't sound like. All right.
He licked the walls. He did tell me
Okay.
that.
He was a crazy guy. There we go. Got it. He was a crazy guy with weird knees. Okay. That's
But
all I
think
need.
about how strange everything has been that's happened to us, Neil. It's not the normal workings of a mercenary group. Mercenaries aren't kidnapped into the Feywild by strange riddle rabbits. They then don't wake up 30 years later in the Underdark, where tales of the Feywild are just superstition. Things have happened to us that don't make any sense.
That's just the randomness, the chaos of the multiverse.
Have
Maybe
tried,
what you know what?
Tried
You know what?
reaching out to Bacab in meditation or prayer?
Look, let me just. When I was, I was a dumpster baby, right? They put me in that big garbage pile outside the city of Greyhawk. Somebody found me. They left me at the Temple of Bacab, and the priests of Bacab were nice enough to keep me there and let me live there. And I grew up to be, a sage and a scholar, and that was nice. But Bacab never showed up or said, hey, this is why all this happened, or you're here for a reason. It's not like that. It's just some nice people. And, Bacab is interested in magic. I love magic. It's my hobby. My god is my hobby. That's all. He's not that kind of god. He's not like your god. He's just not. And that's fine. But the more I'm out here in the real world, we're in this evil Drow city. And all of the great magic that we've studied and learned about could be put to use to do good things. And it's not. We're doing more good here than my temple ever did.
Your temple raised
You've
you.
done more. You've done more. You know, just since I've known you, than they ever did.
No, I wouldn't say. I should maybe have definitely done more, but I wouldn't say that what I've done is good. But do you think that such kind men who would take in a dumpster baby who cost food and time and resources, such wonderful people would serve such a careless god for no reason? Doesn't that mean anything to you that the people who raised you trust in Bakab? That they instilled those values in you? Your love of magic comes from Bakab. It comes
Sophie,
from the priest who raised you.
I think what they got out of me was free labor.
And you cost a lot of food. Do you know how much babies poop? Constantly, all the time. Talk about trash dumpster. I mean, babies are just dumpsters. They just eat and poop and eat and poop. That's quite a long con for free labor.
I'm gonna give Seraphina a big cheesy smile and say, "I'm so glad I met you.
Oh, Neil.
You're like one of my best friends." How do we get out of here anyway?
Well, we have to wait for the guards to find Kieran and Sayeli so we can go and find this magic, powerful rod
That'll be interesting.
in the Underdark.
That's something Bakab would be interested in. So maybe that's why he's here.
Well, he
Rod.
did tell me to accept what was happening
Are there any snacks or anything in
in his
here?
own way. In his own way.
Like, is there any snacks or anything in here?
Yeah, they brought in like a platter of like food in case you were hungry, some wine. It's all like vegetarian stuff. Not well, more like vegan vegetarian stuff. So there's-
Really, Clavdra as a vegan?
I mean, they live underground, so unless you want to eat like monster meat and stuff, it's all just like.
I'm surprised we're not eating slave meat, to be
Lumo
honest.
lizard.
Oh, don't.
I mean, some people do eat human. They are not human, so it's not really cannibalism, right?
Mhm.
So, but yeah, it's like vegetables and like root vegetables and beans and stuff like that. And there is some like meat there and stuff.
Do we have all our gear?
Ooh, good question. Okay.
Oh, we do.
You got a
And
lot
are
of
we are we chained up or anything?
Nope,
like
you're just in a room.
Well, we have the thing on us. Neil, I would just say when we have a moment, perhaps just reach out to Bakab with your mind. He's here. He seems interested in us for some reason. Siri, excuse you. My phone just turned on. He's
Did you
fucking
mean
here.
Marilyn Manson? Touch straight.
I'm here. Bakab seems interested in us for some reason.
Sure he does.
And if someone were pretending to be Bakab, don't you think that they would be struck down for blasphemy?
Doubt it. Maybe though.
Eat your brute vegetables.
I will.
You're like the most cynical. Like it's weird because like you're both naive, but also very cynical of your god, which is
Great, I love it.
Doubt it.
I think if we have some time, actually, is it 2 rooms? I mean, sorry, is it just one big room, or
Mhm.
is there like rooms off of it? Are we like in an apartment, or like just a big bedroom?
I mean, yeah, there's like there's like one room and there's a door that goes to like another room. It's like conjoined, but there's only like one way to go in and out of like this
Right.
room.
Okay. I think I would actually like to go into the other room and close the door and pray and see if I can reach Istis.
First time we're doing this. Give me. So let's see. What does it look like, and what do you say?
I guess I have to use my divine intervention.
Oh, using a spell?
Well, no, I just have the divine intervention thingy.
Well, no, like you can do it through RP and just roll a religion check, or you can use the spell.
No, I won't use the spell
Which-
then. I'll just role play it. I think I'm gonna sit crisscross style. I'm gonna lay on my back with my hands like folded over my belly and my eyes closed. That's gonna be my praying stance. And I'm just going to ask Istis if she has I want to just say that I'm just asking for help and for guidance, but I know I need to be a little more specific than
Nope,
that.
you don't.
Okay.
That's what gods are for, right?
Yeah.
Help and guidance.
I'm going to say I'll say dear Istis, hello, it's me, Serafina. How are you? I'm confused. I was reached out to by another god, and I don't know how to feel about that. And if you could just drop me a line and kind of let me know what's going on and your thoughts on the whole matter, I would really appreciate it. XOXO Serafina.
You saying this out loud or like quiet?
In my head.
Is the door to your room closed or open?
It's closed.
Okay. Roll me a religion check advantage.
Hey, why the fuck am I not proficient in religion?
Don't know.
Dead!
Roll with advantage.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So you don't really get an answer.
Oh,
It's like when you were in the Feywild and you were trying to reach out, and I said it was like fuzzy, and there was this block there before, and then you just hear in your head, "Oh, my wife, my wife, my wife."
all right. Well, okay. And the block feels the same as it did in the Feywild, like
Yeah,
kind of
like
just like fuzzy, like I'm
Mhm.
not like my call is going out, but I just can't get anything back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Like there was just something there.
Okay. All right, I will
Can you
just
roll me a deck save?
Oh my goodness, if my sword is at it again, Jesus Christ. Oh God.
It's this Christ.
Jesus comes to me and he's like, Sarah, there's only one God.
And you are my wife.
What terrible thing befalls me?
You get like smacked in the face, like super
What?
hard.
Ah!
Just like super hard. Hurts like a big mark on your cheek.
Who's there?
Turn around, it's like the open man's in front of you.
What the? Is it the man who said he was a cop?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing here?
You called me? Wait, that's not his voice. You called me. No.
That wasn't his voice either.
You called me. I'm old.
Sure. Yes, I did. I did call out into the ether, and I suppose this is what I got back. What is your plan here? What is your end game? You
Mine-
must know that some of the houses here are planning something revolting with some of the less scrupulous gods.
Oh, that's not really. I don't care about that. They can go about their business, but you're on the right path. You're where you're supposed to be. I've seen it.
What have you seen?
The path you're on. Time and travel are big toys to me.
Why have you come to me and not Neil, who is a follower, a devotee of you?
He has not asked me. And his answers are not those I accept. You have come closer to what I have asked, so therefore you have intrigued me the most.
But Neil has been with me every step of the way.
Mm-hmm. Yet you seem to have seen more.
Yes, Neil is rather sheltered.
Mm-hmm.
But he has you in his heart, even if he doesn't.
Ugh, hearts and feelings. What matters is practical knowledge. You cannot
Mm.
feel your way out of a situation. You must know it and act upon it.
Mm.
Simply caring does not solve the problem.
So you're saying Neil is too green? He's lived too long inside the walls of the Temple of Bakab.
Yes, that's the things I said to him exactly. He has no practical application of what he knows.
Oh, okay. He needs to learn more, and then you will speak to him.
Perhaps, if I wish it.
I will ready Neil. I will make sure he has all the practical knowledge that he requires.
Perhaps you should figure out my question before you do that.
What is this, Jeopardy?
If it was, you would have lost.
Will you tell me the answer?
No. I am Bakab. I have knowledge. Why would I just give you knowledge?
All right, I will find out your answer.
Do you remember the question?
The question was, what am I doing?
No. Just the first part.
What am I? What am I?
Yes, what are you?
And I said a tool.
Mm-hmm.
I remember now.
But what kind of tool? And he'll like poke you.
What kind of tool am I?
Mm-hmm.
One who requires a lot of direction.
Clearly not, because you've made your way here on your own.
I was not alone. I had many people who helped guide me here.
Yes, but you're all alone. No gods to help you. No one paving the way for you. You've made your own decisions. How's that communication, by the way? Bit fuzzy?
Do you know why I can't reach out to Istis?
Of course I know.
Why?
Should figure that out.
Ugh.
Perhaps creatures like you aren't allowed to have gods.
You have given me much to reflect on. If I need you again, shall I just expect to be slapped?
Probably.
Can I slap you back?
Probably not.
One of these days I will.
Maybe in a few centuries we get a bit more powerful. If your expiry date lasts that long. And he just disappears.
I would like to approach Neil, but I would like to try and sneak up on Neil and do like a surprise combat to try and prepare him for.
Sean, hearing this, do you consent to this?
I'm thinking that like if there's a bowl of food and there's like it's like a mix, I'm picking out just the ones that I like.
I'll just hyper focused on it.
Like if there's like grapes and other types of vegetable, I'll just eat the grapes. I'm like, I hope you don't mind. I'm eating all the grapes.
I want to sneak up and I
I'll
want
say-
to upend the plate and be like, an attack can happen at any moment, Neil.
Ah! Why did that? Why did that happen?
Neil, it has come to my attention, and I should have realized this sooner, but you are a novice. You have so much knowledge, but
Mhm.
none of it is practical.
Yeah.
I would like to help you apply your numerous skills to more practical means.
Oh.
I'm going to pick up a grape and throw it at him. An attack can happen anywhere, Neil.
Like I don't have any react. You know, it just strikes me. I don't even notice it hit me till it like hits the floor.
What?
Doink.
Think of this as an opportunity to. I don't want to say practice because I've already said that multiple times. Think of this as an opportunity to expand what you've read, to put into working memory everything you've learned about.
So you're saying that you want to be kind of like my mentor
Yes.
and kind of like someone in life to guide me
Yes.
and to kind of make me feel safe in the world.
I will always keep you safe, but sometimes I will make you feel uneasy. And I'm going to throw another grape at him. Because danger comes at you all the time, Neil.
Doink.
From many different directions.
Okay, that sounds great, Ma, Serafina. And then I'm gonna like take the grape off the floor and like just wipe off the dust. Don't tell anybody. Oh, I'm gonna eat it.
I love your vigor. You have to learn how to eat anything for sustenance.
And I think
I'll have
as
another
Neil
one.
picks up the grapes, we just kind of cut there.
Worst ever anime training sequence.
Come back in season 2 when it's just a rugged looking Neil and he has a giant flaming sword.
Then he gets beaten up a little bit, rolls up his sleeves, takes off the weights.
My training was for. Fucking great. So we see you all walking under. Do you do anything in the interim going to Sarcoma Keep with this body? You do.
Hey,
You do still
Hey,
see the.
why does this guy want bodies? What does he want this body for?
Yeah, you still see all the ghouls around, but they don't seem to be messing with you. And he just kind of says, I mean, look around. What do you think? It's probably gonna raise it.
So he's just gonna make another ghoul out of it. Can't be worth that much to him then.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just here to deliver the body. I don't really know what they do with it. I mean, he's the first one I've had to haul over.
How many more you gotta haul?
I mean, there was a bit of. Did you hear the explosion? It's gonna be a whole.
Yeah, I heard it. Yep.
It's gonna be a whole procession here. Some of
I
them
heard
are-
it from a great distance. I wasn't.
Why didn't you just get a cart then and bring them all over?
Oh, they're being loaded onto a car, but this one was told to be brought specially.
Ah, son of a bitch. Okay. What's
Don't
your
worry,
name,
the
by
car,
the way,
the car was
boy?
labeled properly. Don't worry about it. Yeah,
I mean, it is this. I mean, bodies are flammable.
they're gonna explode at any moment. Yeah. He says, "Oh, I'm Jeff." No, wait. There's already a Jeff in this game. I'm Paul.
I was about to say, I was like, Jeff, you've changed.
I'm Paul.
I still want to know what happened to Jeff. You guys
I don't
lost him the week
Don't
that
care.
I was gone.
Okay, we don't need Jeff.
He's in
Fuck
the
him.
inn still, just waiting for you guys to come back.
Fuck Jeff.
Guy.
It's the worst. So, I think I'll like sort of slow Sally down just so that he can walk ahead,
Mhm.
just like slightly out of, hopefully out of earshot of him.
Mhm.
So what's your plan here? I don't know if we're gonna be able to get this soul stone, and if we do, we're gonna have to make a deal for it. How much do you trust the Zanzibar guy?
Breed at you.
Oh, I don't at all. Oh, not even remotely. There's not a single thing about Zanzibar that I trust. He is a big member of the Brotherhood, and she gets really close to his ear and whispers, he's made some comments that make me worry about Tharizdun.
Yeah.
But we don't have choices. We have to get Neil, we have to get Seraphina, and now we have to get Elizabeth Law.
Can we go on vacation after all of this? Can we just like find some far away beach somewhere? Because I am really tired. I am really tired.
Maybe one day we can rest our bones, Kieran, but I don't think that will be happening anytime soon.
Okay, well, I mean, all right. So, what's our play with the soul stone?
Well,
Do we let him know, or do we just try to steal one?
I guess we'll see what happens with Elizabeth Law first.
Okay. What are we willing to promise for Elizabeth Law?
Depends on what he wants.
Because, I mean, I feel a little bad. I feel a little bad that I probably killed her.
I
Just
mean,
a little bit.
did blow up an entire... I said create a distraction. I did not say blow up half of the...
Look, who drives a cart of that much explosive stuff through the middle of a crowded square? Kieran's just gonna be going back to this argument every time.
Kieran, did it say explosive on it?
No, it just said flammable, dangerous. That's all it said. It did not say explosive.
I mean, it didn't lie to you.
You're in the pits of hell, so things like that can happen at any period of time.
I didn't think it'd be that dangerous.
In the
I thought it'd
Underdark,
kill like a few of the people in the back.
a few. You'd kill a few people. I didn't intend on killing anyone, but the flesh peddler.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you were gonna kill him. I mean, definitely feel like at the very least some guards were gonna die either way. Also, most people living in this city, I really don't care. They're not good people here. No one who's here is good people. Neil's probably the best person in this whole damn town.
I'm saying it does not. It's hard for me to say who is a good and a bad person, Kieran. I wouldn't say I'm quite that much of a good person. Most of my kindness comes from selfish wants. So
I mean, you're standing next to the much of the same. I feel you. But
You start ascending
what
the
I'm trying to
stairs,
get
by
at
the way.
is that I don't know how much I owe Elizabeth Law after what she got us into with the Feywild. And to be honest, she's always just been kind of an employer for me.
yeah, I've always kind of found her to be a bitch, but that doesn't change the fact that 30 years have passed, our guild has fallen to the ground, and she's the only one who has any details of what started us on this mission. And unless you have the ability to speak with the dead, because I know
I mean, this guy can raise the dead. Maybe we can make a deal to have him do a little speak with the dead first, and then we can decide whether we want her back or not.
I mean,
That might be cheaper.
I just want some answers, Kieran. Some answers. I've spent, how long have we been together? Feels like a millennia almost, without a single answer as to what in the fuck is happening with our life. I've lost, and she kind of touches her face that has aged now, 12 years. I've lost time.
Yeah.
I've lost physical
Kieran
time.
also looks
I've lost
older.
30 years of life. We have lost so much, and we have no answers as to why we were the ones chosen to do this adventure.
I mean, a lot of my life has been just someone else's destiny. That's what I feel like this is. We're just pieces in a game that's probably bigger than us. That's why I want to go on vacation. I just want to get out of this game. I don't care who wins this game, to be honest.
Everything is a game, and our lives seem to be in the middle.
Yep. I just want out of the game, to be honest. That's my main goal here. I want out of the game.
Get me out of the Matrix.
Let me log out, please.
You're on the bridge, walking towards the door.
If we're to
Wow.
get out of this game, Kieran, we have to become powerful enough to sever our ties with those stronger than us. Gods and demons and wizards and necromancers and house leaders. Fae.
Well, as I said, I'll let you take the lead on this. And I'll back up just about anything you want to do. Just about.
Both of you roll me intelligence checks.
Let's see, just straight intelligence.
Mm-hmm. Just shit.
Oh!
Kieran's never
Oh.
been smarter.
Okay. All right.
like, I can see the
Let
code.
me tell you something, girl.
Kieran's got a 14 intelligence, so he's actually pretty he's smarter than the average person.
Kieran
I had a
just
plus
He reads
4.
books.
My intelligence is an 18, and that's what I got out of it.
Kieran just turned to you and just yells, "I know kung fu." So
I am the intercept.
so it dawns on you, Kieran, as you're kind of making this way. You talk about agreements and quests and what you're going to do, and you remember coming here that there was another one you made with a certain half elf by the
Yep.
necklace
Yep. Yeah.
for you to escape and to
Yep.
aid you against someone. And they said that they would need it to not only help themselves, but to help you all as well.
Yep. And it's in Sarcoma Keep, if I remember correctly.
And it's a medallion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like a
I mean,
necklace medallion.
Thalie was there too, so I think Kieran's under the understanding that she already knows that.
Mm.
Although I guess
But this
might
kind of
not
reminds
know.
you of everything that's kind of
Yeah.
that kind of goes on.
I think Kieran will just be like, we should also probably keep an eye out. Did we get a good description of that medallion, or what it did, or where it was?
You didn't get what it.
So-
You didn't get tell me what it is. You just said he needed it.
He
Mhm,
said it's very potent.
So it's very potent, very powerful,
mhm.
and that you'll know when you'll see it.
Kieran looks at, Kieran just sort of mentions Sally as we're approaching the keep. We should probably also keep an eye out for that medallion that Elisand wants us to get. I don't want to give it to him because I don't trust that fucker. But I want to know what it is if he wants it.
I can't hear you, Sam.
Hello?
There we go.
Okay.
Sorry, I wasn't muted. I guess my mic just was like, actually, her voice needs to stop for a minute. Well, perhaps it's in the right hands now. Perhaps it'll fall into our hands. Perhaps it'll fall into someone else's hands. We'll keep our eyes out, though.
Yes. I guess we're entering this point.
So yeah, you've got into the place. It's the same woman who was there before, the undead woman, and she just says, "Yeah, Heather." And she just kind of says, she looks towards Paul, kind of nods. Paul kind of looks towards all of you, and just kind of says, thinks for a moment.
We're guests here. We know
We're
you.
accompanying Paul on this particular delivery today, my dear friend Heather.
Yeah, yes. They apparently they're here to talk to Telegas as well. Okay. Right in. And they're like moved to the side, and the doors just like open by themselves.
Sorry, did you just call that thing Heather?
Her name is Heather. She did not have a name, and we've decided that that would be a very pretty name for such a beautiful woman.
Got some interesting taste, Sally.
Probably.
I mean, if I think about it, the people that Sally has obviously crushed on this show is the garden keeper who creates flesh statues,
I forgot about that.
an undead skeletal man who is a pimp, and now Heather.
And a Claptra.
I mean, a Clavdra.
And Clavdra.
Yeah.
Honestly,
And the goddess of winter. Or the
She was
the lady of winter.
Yeah,
But
y'all.
that was like more of you, really.
Did
Yeah.
you
that
like
was much
That was
more,
more Seraphina.
your ship.
It was
did you
very
like
powerful.
the archdevil Bale?
Oh yeah, he was hot too.
Okay.
God, he's
I
great.
think out of everyone, Sailly's crushed on the most people.
I can't believe, actually, now that I think about it, I can't believe we never followed up about what happened to him.
We figure he'll make his presence known.
He
When
like
he needs
saved
it.
all of us, and as soon as we wake up, we're like, well, I guess he's gone forever. No need to dwell on what happened to him.
I mean,
I
your
mean-
your abilities still work, so he's probably still alive.
Yeah.
I mean, we have
Also-
a lot of things to worry about. If he needs us again, he'll come and tell us. I'm sure.
I mean, it's not that he needs us. He's definitely gonna come calling for a favor because he definitely thinks we owe him many favors.
And also,
Might-
doesn't he want to recruit you into his?
Yeah,
You actually
I'm-
said that you would do it.
I would be interested. Yeah,
Mhm.
but I needed to get some stuff done first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. That's
Alright.
The last we saw of him, wasn't he fighting the living tunnel? of death?
Goo.
The
Yeah.
light,
he
yeah.
saved us.
The
He
acid turned
saved
into
us.
an ooze and was fighting.
He's, that means
Neil's greatest foe.
he's probably dead, so we're not gonna have to worry about it.
We're not gonna talk too long.
Because
that tunnel of acid is actually a god.
Yeah, you're not winning that fight.
Sean's
All
just
that
saying that because he doesn't want to relive that whole bit again. But yeah, so
But
but don't worry, we'll get back to all that good creepy stuff.
Soon enough.
Soon enough. We're in a different kind of creepy, ethical creepiness. But yeah, so the doors open and you see this like grand hallway. You see this like large chandelier kind of swinging down. And as you kind of walk in, your feet kind of like clitter and clack on like the marbled floor. You see just these large paintings, like gargantuan paintings, with just like murals, and they must have taken like forever to paint, of just Telegas, and like he's in this like fine black armor, very like handsome like human man. Like fine bone structure, kind of like short black hair, like green eyes, and he just has this black sword, and it has all these like different ones of like him on a horse, him with other people, and you see that it's all like in different stages, but he always looks the same. And as this kind of happens, you see Paul as he kind of gets to. As he gets to like a table, as he kind of winds up these like winding stairs, and he gets to this table, kind of puts it down, and he just kind of looks to both of you and just says, "Okay, a few things to know. Don't speak to Telegas unless he speaks to you. Be very careful. He's very, very powerful. And he's kind of had a short temper of late. So just kind of watch yourself in that. See ya." And he starts walking away. He's put the body on like this like slab.
There's somewhere to sit nearby.
No.
We're definitely going to die here, Kieran. We are definitely going to say something out of line.
That's why I'm gonna leave this talking to you.
Oh god, and she just rubs her face. Oh, Elizabeth, the trouble you get me in every single day.
And like he kind of looks like kind of like the salt and pepper, kind of like George Clooney kind of look. I mean, like the pictures. If you can kind of think of like a look. And you're waiting there, and it gets like cold, just like really cold. And this little mist starts coming in the room. And then suddenly, where can I find the right music for this?
Of course, he's got a fancy entrance. Just reinforcing this asshole picture in my head.
And And as you see the doors in the back, there's gilded golden doors, in the back, kind of like slowly open, and you see kind of like wearing almost like a crown, like golden crown, this like black drape, kind of like robe, kind of covering him. You just see him walking forward from like the darkness of this room slowly, as you just hear the tapping of the feet, the pittering and pattering, slowly coming towards you.
Can I do a quick investigation around the room? Is there anything that looks
Yeah, you can do.
Change.
Yeah, we can do like retroactively if you want to look. Roll me an investigation check. You see a number of like goblets, some vases, some like statue, like some more like busts. Everything and anything in here is probably worth like a shit ton of gold.
That's fine. Is there any gems, necklaces, talismans hanging around?
No, there's nothing like that. There's just this Sloan Stab room. You can look on the ground before the fog came in, and there was just this like pentagram sigil on the ground as well, with all these like arcane ruins. And that's where the stone slab is.
Yikes. Yep, then I guess she's just gonna stand next to the stone slab and wait.
You see this person coming in. They have a hood on. Actually, I'm gonna just kind of retcon the first few things I said. And they have a hood on. And as they kind of walk in, they walk in slowly. You hear the clittering and clattering. They seem to kind of glide in the mist. And as they kind of take it down, you recognize this person, Kieran, as Dominic. And that's where we're gonna take our break. So we'll see what Dominic has to say.
Sup, fucker.
Great, and I'm sure that's great for Kieran. Kieran, you promised you wouldn't talk already.
Hello, hello, hello. We are back, and Dominic has just entered the scene. See how that goes.
Sup, fucker?
You said you weren't speaking.
Yeah, no, Kieran doesn't say that.
Dominic takes down his hood, and he's this young-looking, maybe like early 20s, black individual, very like dark tone, about 6 foot, kind of like grey eyes.
He sounds super hot.
And it's just rippling with oil and now. Yeah, he's wearing this like black cloak. This is more action than I want. And he's just wearing this like black cloak. And as he looks at both of you, just kind of looks towards you, Kieran, kind of like narrows his eyes. Then just kind of says, "What are you doing here, both of you?"
I'm sorry, but we are here to meet with Telegas about this particular corpse.
You are here to talk to my master about a departed person?
Yes.
Is he aware of this?
He is not. We were in an inn speaking with Sansapar, and this gentleman had appeared with a very important corpse to us. And we were just wondering if your lord could give us some assistance before we make our way.
What do you think you could offer my lord that would even give him the slightest want to help you? Both of you. And he like looks towards Kieran. Both
What?
of you are so uneducated in the ways of things.
I mean, neither of us are trained necromancers, no, my friend, but I would not say we are uneducated. And if we are here seeking the knowledge that we need.
Tell
It's hard to
me,
become powerful unless you learn something.
it is true, but do you just simply walk into the home of a lord and then demand he see you to give you aid? What
Well,
do
no.
you offer in return?
Well, we did ask Heather to open the doors. She did open the doors for us. It's not like we broke in or anything, my friend. I understand that you are a guardian of your lord's keep, but I don't understand why we would have to prove such a thing to you. If your lord does not think the things we offer to him are good enough, he can punish us correctively, but... And does Saeli notice this, like, continuous, like, look back at Kieran this guy keeps doing?
Kieran's also just fucking glaring at this guy. Just
Yeah,
Like, is there,
probably,
like,
yeah.
Like, there seems to be something going on between you, Kieran, and this man. Is there something I don't know what is am I missing some information? Am I unknowledgeable in something, Kieran?
we've met before
Of course you have met before. Where have you met him? Here?
at the library.
When were you at the library? And why?
Remember that time we were in the temple district? And I disappeared. I went to the library.
Leisurely stroll to the library and met this.
It wasn't leisurely.
You met the charge of a great lord, and is there a reason why the faces are so angry towards one another? Did you fight him? Am I going to have to fight this man? I don't want to have to fight this man, Kieran.
No, we're fine.
Yeah,
I don't understand why men are being children when there are more important matters.
Kieran cracks his knuckles individually. Just
I hate
but
I truly hate
no,
men.
we don't have any beef, as they say.
Never heard that term.
You are wrong, by the way, and something you would have done if you had gained your knowledge. I am not my master's guardian, nor his charge. I am his child. When I speak, I hold the voice of my lord.
This child. How unique. You say you carry his voice. Do you mean in the sense that he is a living man who you just follow his orders, or do you mean something more magically nefarious?
If he is not abound and I am, my voice is to be as taken as though Telegas is speaking to you.
Amazing. What a treat. Great. So the voice of Telegas seems to have an issue with you, Kieran. Thank you for consistently making my life more difficult.
Feelings mutual, say Ellie.
Roll
My
me
dear
a
man.
perception check, both of you, as you say that. Just
I'm just too angry.
Focused.
There's a
I'm
lightning
surprised you
bolt
haven't
between
raged
us.
yet.
There's
So-
a lightning bolt between us.
There is. It's sparking. It's all anime. You both of you don't notice as you're saying this. You just hear a voice behind you just say, "Come now, Dominic. These are our guests. You know the protocol for guests, don't you?" And you suddenly feel this chill behind you.
I mean, I felt one in real life when that voice
I
happened.
know, me too, I
You wish to see me? And you see this kind of like figure glide around. It has this like crown on, strong bone structure, kind of scraggly beard, salt and pepper, 6 foot, green eyes, and they float like in a circle around to Dominic, putting a hand on his shoulder. I am Telegas.
Sally lowers her head in a sign of respect. I'm sorry for speaking so crassly to your son, Lord Telkas.
It is fine. Children will be children.
Yes, it is. She's afraid to speak. She knows not to speak before he speaks to her. He doesn't know what to say.
He's already spoken to you.
I know, but I don't want to continue. My apologies for entering your home without a proper meeting planned, but we came across your newest. And she kind of like motions over to the corpse. She doesn't really know what to call her. She goes, companion visitor.
Body. It's a body.
It's a body. It's a corpse. We came here in question about the corpse that you are collecting. The one of Elizabeth Law.
Yes. What about her? Her life is gone. So ownership of whatever connections you have would be forfeit.
I respect that, and I understand that you are the Lord in charge of the dead, especially in situations where it happens right under your doorstep, but we came seeking an opportunity to perhaps get just a few answers from her before we lose the opportunity. We've lost a lot to this woman. We just want to know why.
And you see hands from this robe dip out, parting them and fold out as the robe kind of falls over their shoulders. As they kind of put their hands in a kind of like silent kind of like triangle motion. And you see they're wearing this kind of like black and gold clothing. It's like a sword on his side. And he's wearing a very sparkling medallion. It seems to speak with you.
Fuck you, Ella
And for
son.
and for some reason, it seems to call out to you. drawing you to it, both of you. So, you wish answers. What do you give for these answers, mortals? And he like kind of floats forward towards the slab.
Well, I don't know what to offer such a powerful man. It seems that we are just objects in play for much larger games. We're simply pawns trying to find out why we've been moved to this position.
Are you interested in magical goods from another plane?
Interesting.
You've intrigued me. You are Ambassador Bound's child, yes?
Yup.
I am curious. What do you have?
What do you have, Kieran?
I will take out the specially made suit, black and red suit that I got all that long ago from.
Like you just have a
God, that was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
The name is some Eldranon.
Eldranon.
Mm-hmm.
Eldranon.
Do you know what it does?
I mean, I mean, I know what does to me,
Mm-hmm.
which is that it makes my face start to look demonic, and like things begin to appear.
And you have a symbol on your forehead.
Yeah, it also makes that symbol of use appear on my head, which isn't really a secret anymore. So.
Daquan, what Daquan? What do they call him? They what?
Dominic?
Dominic. I got too many D names in my head. Got too much D on the brain. He comes over to you and kind of like looks towards you, still giving you the side eye, but like puts his hand out.
I glare at him and I hand it over to him simply. This was made by a very powerful fae.
Moves over to Telegas. Telegas looks at it, puts his hand like a long finger over it. It's like very like long black fingernails. Then drapes it over. Gives like Salia a side eye. He looks at it, looks back. Powerful transmutation. Yes. This is a garment. It is offensive to my eye, but powerful. Perhaps we can get a wizard to transfer this to something else.
He said it was offensive to him.
Just like the design, the look of
Yeah,
it.
I don't think he likes the style.
My
Maybe he doesn't like clothes. He's just wearing a robe.
No, he's wearing
Oh,
clothes.
he's wearing clothes.
Get your head out the gutter.
Flying out of the gutter.
Fully nude, and he
Did
always
you think when he
sits with
took off his
legs
cloak, he was
apart.
naked?
yeah, he parts his hands and parts his
He
face.
parts the
You
kimono.
stand before the
like-
great Telegash.
In
your
all
mind
my
out.
glory.
You've
Jeez,
caught me at a
Heather.
very inopportune time.
Christ.
Hey, get your mind
I
out of
wanted
the
to say
gutter.
something so serious too.
Go for it.
All right, so Sally's gonna kind of like pause while like touching it, and she goes, "I don't mean to misspeak, speak unspoken to, but
Yet you do. Continue.
do you know of a man named Ellison?
Yes.
No. The name does not ring a bell.
I don't mean to assume any allegiances you have with gods or entities.
Hmm.
But we do also have information of a man named Ellison that might prove useful to you.
And why is he useful?
Because it seems he is after your power. He is the creature that has corrupted the Feywild, and he is trying to find people strong enough to steal, she kind of points it towards his chest, the medallion off of your chest. He works with, I believe, Tharizdun. He's trying to corrupt these lands as he did the Feywild. So I may not have any magical items, but I do have that information that there are those who are conspiracying.
Conspiring.
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 English is my main and only language, and it just does not work for me.
Doesn't work for a lot of people, to be honest.
The worst language ever.
It's like 5 different languages that we're just like.
It's ours. By the way, we use Fahrenheit in America. It's a mess here. I don't know what's happening. But we do have the information of those conspiring against you.
He comes over to you slowly, kind of drifting through the, like, it doesn't seem to be walking at all, and he kind of stands over you, and it's almost like darkness surrounds you, and all you see is his green eyes just piercing you as he just kind of just looks down towards you and just says, and you know where this individual is, do you?
Kieran, do we know that information? I missed that episode. I wasn't here.
I don't remember if he
I think
told
he said
us.
he'd find us when
Yeah.
we did have it.
Because he said he knew where we were, but I don't think he told us where.
But
he was.
last time he didn't come with us back, right? Like, I think
No,
so.
he-
The last time we saw him, he was trapped in the portrait world of what's his face?
Ulrich.
Ul. So I mean, Kieran would be like, the last place we knew of his location was in the painting that Ulrich revealed at his gala.
Under the guise of a half-elven merchant, but I am quite sure that is not his true form. We've attempted to kill him once, but he faded into blackness and has come back to fight again. I don't know what kind of powers
I
he's
really want to
possessing.
kill him again. Kieran cracks his knuckles.
I have no reason to lie to you. Honestly, I believe that those who watch the dead are the most honest. The dead do not lie.
Yeah, it gets really close to your face. So he kind of bends down and just says, do you know what this individual looks like?
He's ugly and stupid.
Okay, I could paint the clearest picture in my mind.
Good.
Sally's gonna close her eyes because she has a bad feeling of what's coming.
He says to you, you kind of like, if you allow this, kind of like gets your hand, kind of cups it up towards him. I can relive strong memories. If you focus, I can see what you have seen.
Sally nods and then just begins like forcing her mind to like flood every single memory she can think of Alisson, of the deal they made, of him trying to get this amulet, of
He senses
what he
this.
did.
and he kind of like goes close to your ear and just says, I only need a few drops of your blood. May I drink?
She mutters, she goes, will we be able to speak with Elizabeth Law?
Given what you say is true, you have my permission.
Then with her free hand, Sally's going to just kind of pull back her.
And
Okay.
he kind of goes down, and you feel him like cup your neck, your face, and you feel this like pressure, and you feel this like sharp, almost like daggers hit your neck, and it stings and kind of hurts, but then it stops, and this euphoria kicks in. Just this pulsating euphoria, like the endorphins are kicking through, like you've just taken some drug instantly. Your pupils go wide, and you feel like your heart start beating, and then you feel almost in tandem his heart beat at the same pace, and you feel this transfer go through, and it doesn't hurt at all. And after a moment passes, he kind of like, and then he like licks his thumb and like puts it on your neck, and like the wounds like seal up. There. And like he kind of moves back. And like he starts like freaking out, and like the body falls over. Not Daquan, Jesus Christ, what I fucking call him? Dominic runs over to him and he goes, my lord, and like Telegas just like grabs him, like throws him across the room. What have you done to me? And he falls down, like the entire mist like falls away, disappears around him, and he kind of goes down to one knee and looks up. And he looks up towards you, and now his face is just like a white, just like ashen pale. So that's the same kind of like look, but it's no longer that kind of like human hue. It's just white. And now he doesn't have the green eyes, but just the black pupils. And he's like, what are you? Get out of my house! Oh no.
I was just gonna say either Bree is
It's really
so
like, even she's still like taking this really well, or she has just like died.
Oh my god.
I was like, wow, she's remaining very calm.
I know.
Meanwhile, pan over to
This really isn't Bree.
Kieran's just got his hand, like his hand slowly moves towards like his, like, not on his weapon, but like, you know, he's apprehensive at this moment.
And as Telegas kind of stands up and freaks out and goes to like palm at you, we cut there to a room, and in this room you see someone walk in. It is Jeff. You're muted if you're speaking, but he just goes, hey everyone, how's it going?
Jeff, you're alive.
Yeah, you're all alive. Thank goodness.
Jeff, I wasn't sure what had happened to you after we were saved from the painting.
Oh, I was in the room with you when you were all there. Remember? And you weren't really there for that episode. But he just goes,
Yeah, but I don't remember what happened after that. There was an explosion. It was very scary. I have no idea what happened. Were you safe during the terrorist attack?
yeah, I mean, you mean your attack? I've been briefed already.
I'm gonna
Jeff,
give
how
Jeff-
dare you? I am your superior officer.
I mean, I've been 30 years. I kind of got your position.
I want to give Jeff a high five.
That look, okay. How dare you say that?
I don't want to say it, Jeff, but Kieran was right about you.
Serafina. How could you say such a thing? Look, raw emotions are high, all right? What was that, Neil?
I want to give him a high five, but we both miss.
He does.
Yeah,
He misses. Roll me, now that you're seeing this, roll me a perception check, Serafina, as this high five happens.
Ooh, what do I perceive with my
So
eyes?
you see they got to high five, but you see Jeff purposefully miss. And he's just like, oh, we missed. And like, he plays it up with Neil.
Okay, so what I just observed wasn't as important as my natural 20 would have led me to believe.
Okay, wow. Getting all kinds of shade from you today. You don't want that information? Fine.
Jeff, what brings you into our quarters? Are you also in the service of a Clavdra? Our great spider mistress.
You mean that spider bitch?
Jeff.
Jeff.
I was wrong about you again.
Yes, the spider person that we are both referencing. Do you work for her?
No, well, yeah. I kind of got this like thing on my neck. A whole load of people came to the inn that are looking for you. I was like, yeah, I know them. And they said to me that you were going to fornicate with Kieran's mom.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
Was Kieran there?
no, they haven't come back to the inn. So I kind of got worried. So I was just like, all right, I guess I'll go along with it.
Holy shit! I'm literally the most like you start going ah, ah, and he starts to stumble, and then immediately my phone, like my internet, my internet box was like JK, all the internet, all over my house, gone, all in that moment. I was like, no. So what happened? What did he do? What happened to him?
We thought that you were playing it so cool. I thought that maybe you knew what was happening because you had this like little.
I know you had
smug
this
smile.
like.
And I was like, oh
shame
no, she
grin.
knew what was going on, and I was waiting for you to react, and then you didn't. But Josh did this. Pro Restarter did this very convincing, like 4-minute long pain monologue, which was
Did he die? Is he okay?
spectacular.
He's not dead, but he's not happy.
He's not
He
happy.
ain't happy.
He kicked you out.
Well, he hasn't kicked us out yet. He wants us to get out.
He did say get the
He
fuck
did
out
say
of my
get
house.
the fuck out.
Yeah, so nothing's happened yet. He's just like kind of freaked out for some reason. He said, "What are you?" And then
His eyes turned completely black.
yeah, and
What
then
am
He
I?
was
He went
totally
pale.
pale.
What am I? What are you? What?
but
Just blood?
but we'll get back to that in a minute.
We have just continued proof that Jeff is a dumbass.
I mean,
No. What did Jeff do?
Tommy just doesn't like Jeff. Let's just be honest.
No, Kieran doesn't like
Let's-
Jeff, and I
let's just
embody
be
Kieran.
honest.
I
Okay.
embody the spirit of Kieran.
But yeah, Jeff kind of says they haven't come back to the inn, and I got kind of worried, so I just kind of went along with it. Figured that was some kind of secret message you and Kieran have.
Yes. We have established that as our secret code word. Now that you know it, you can also say it to Kieran anytime you see him, and it will be a safe word, so to speak. What have you been tasked with, Jeff?
This is terrible people. I mean, they said that they were just rounding up everyone that they knew you were associated with. Um, I
What about
told
the
I
slaves?
told them about the slaves, but some redheaded girl already come over before and said that
A
she had.
redheaded girl came and took the slaves.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, but she kind of just gave me
What?
this weird look. So I didn't want to get involved with that.
Jeff, what are you doing?
Come on, buddy. Take better care of my
They
slaves.
took the slaves?
Yeah, she said that like she knew what she was doing with them. Don't interfere.
Well, I
Jeff.
suppose we'll have to figure that out at a later time.
You know who the redheaded girl is, probably.
Yes, I have an idea. I have an idea of who took the slaves. Um, all right, Jeff. Well, we are currently waiting for Kieran and Sally. We were told that the guards would go and fetch them. And we've just been waiting very patiently this whole time. Uh, where have you been? Are you allowed to walk around?
I was told to come here.
Oh, okay.
Who told you to come here?
Spider bitch.
Are you allowed to say that? Aren't you afraid that the walls have ears or that perhaps she's listening in from your neck?
I mean, I was trapped in a painting for like years, and I was like having to fight purple worms daily,
Mm-hmm.
and I survived. So
Jeff, I'm interested in knowing what has happened to the Gilded Glaive in our absence. We were sent on a mission and things got weird. What happened after we disappeared?
Oh, and I told this to, and he mentioned this last time,
Okay.
and I'll kind of go over it. He said that the guild was invited a few people in, apparently they're private investigators, and that apparently they found daggers resembling those that.
I remember this now.
Mm-hmm,
Right. Right. And so they were all killed.
mm-hmm.
Or yeah. And who led the charge against the Gilded Glaive for these charges of heresy?
A nobleman named Lucian.
Okay. That was the guy who was having the party in the very first episode,
Nope.
right? No. Okay.
That was the guy in your flashback who you spoke to. He was your.
But I killed him.
No, you killed your commander, not the
Oh, okay.
noble.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. I feel like I'm that meme right now where I'm like, I connected the dots, and you're like, you haven't connected shit.
Is this the dots? No. No. Yeah, and he just kind of says, yeah, apparently you guys are going down to the lower dark.
The Underdark, Jeff, you fool, you buffoon. Learn the lingo of the land.
Oh, this is gonna be an awkward
He
conversation.
just kind of says, I'm actually right, but okay.
Why did my note say Underdark?
I don't know.
We're in the Underdark now. There's then the lower dark, even lower than
What?
the Underdark.
The basement dark?
Pretty much. Sub basement 15.
So he just goes, but it's all right. You know, have you eaten?
Sorry, I've been training Neil how to expect anything at any time, and it's been very exhausting. I've just been jumping around the room and kind of throwing karate chops.
No. I see.
Yeah, I almost blocked one right before you showed up. I can't believe you lost the slaves, Jeff. I gotta, honestly, you suck. I don't know. I tried so hard. You know, your one job was to watch them, and you just handed them over to some redheaded lady.
I mean, she said that she was going to take them, and she said like she knew Kieran, and she already had agreed to this, and it was going to be safe.
Did she show you any ID or anything? Did she just say that and you just took her at her? She could have been anybody, Jeff. Anybody.
I mean, Dude, my friend, I've been in the
We're not
painting
doing-
for so many years.
Yeah.
I'm not
Do you
going to
remember how-
die for these people.
Do you remember how you got into the painting? Some of you were captured and brought here, correct?
Yeah, we were captured. We were in Geoff. I had some friends there.
Mm.
And then we were patrolling the lands, and we got ambushed by some people. And well, apparently we're going to be getting some guide as well soon. Clive just said,
A guide?
yeah,
For what?
oh journey.
Who? Do you know? Did you hear?
No, she just said. I overheard it. I pretended to
Were
be
you
knocked out.
Spying?
You know, Jeff, always listening in when he shouldn't.
I do remember that they always said that about you, Jeff, in the glaive. They always said, be careful what you say because old sneaky Jeff could be pretending to be passed out in the corner. It was your go-to trick.
My party trick every festival.
Every
No.
time we thought you were passed out, and no, you were listening.
Yeah, good times. I
You
missed
had
the
a
old days.
little smile on your face. Yeah, we caught on after a while.
Yeah.
So your
couldn't
lips
keep it.
moving when we would say something big, and you'd be like, "Oh my god!" You know? That's all.
It's
Just
true.
everything.
It's
Bless
true.
you.
It's just so bad that Kieran had to spoil it all with that spin the bottle incident.
Yeah, I just wanted to apologize as the commander who I thought the spin the bottle would be a great team building exercise. Everyone seemed to be having so much fun. And then Kieran just seemed to be so opposed to the rules when we had all agreed ahead of time
It's like
that
an
we
event
were.
that Sally was not at.
Oh, and I remember now that I think about it, I remember that Sally was there, and I remember that
Mm-hmm.
she had such a good time, and I don't think she would ever admit it, but I remember
When
that
those rare occasions she got drunk.
yes, and she was laughing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
This is all a sin and alliance.
Canon DM rule.
Sally does not laugh. Sally does not grin. Sally does not smooch. She just thinks about smooching all of the time.
So, as this happens,
I don't remember. I must not have been there for this.
Sally
Sally
can.
played spin the bottle, and what happened? I mean,
Oh, you were asleep, if I remember. You had like an
Okay.
You were
early
the
night.
first one to fall asleep, Neil.
I never even heard of that game.
And we could play it right now. And he suggests that, and that's where it goes to black.
Jeff, I don't want to kiss my mom or.
She's not your mum, Neil. It's our commanding officer.
Oh, right.
different.
I mean, Serafina.
Really creeps me out that you say that. And he just like, goes to black.
Jeff has the tattoo too, right?
Their brand, yeah.
So I can talk to him too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna keep bugging him mentally about the slave. You know, freaking, you know what we did to get those slaves? It was the thing. They better be okay, Jeff.
And as that
There's
happens,
no more secret handshake. Nothing.
he just
Not
drowns you
funny.
out. He just drowns
There's
you
no
out.
explosive fist bumps. Nothing. Not cool.
You're killing him. So as this happens, we kind of flip back into the room, and we see, we see Telegas on the ground. He's just like, what did you do to me? What are you, creature?
Oh gosh. I as far as I know, I'm a Sul woman forced via great magics to appear as not a Sul woman. Other than that, I have no idea what I am.
It's going to like rush towards you. Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay, hold on. Roll20 is still trying to come back to life after my internet connectivity issues. It's like, that's.
I can roll it for you.
Can you access my character and roll it for me?
Yes, I can.
That sounds wonderful. Do not give me a low roll.
Persuasion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, you're not even proficient in it. Let's just get this for the audience, okay? For chat. She's not even proficient in it, okay?
Ooh,
17. It's good.
Yeah.
17.
So he rushes up, and just as you're about to like go for your maw, like in a lightning flash, he's like over you, Sayale, and like has both hands like cupped around your neck and kind of lifts you like an inch off the ground, and just kind of
Sally's
looks at
hands
you. It's
being
like,
like this. She just kind of remains very much so like, I'm not playing this game with the Lord of Undead. Kind of digging the dead people. She's not playing a game.
and like he kind of like breathes in, and you see like a wash of like the white like ash kind of like from left to right kind of like fade over his face again. And like he lowers you down slowly. There are a lot of jumbles. It's offensive to my senses. What are you? I sense a concealment over you. You're muted.
This is.
Oh, no, you're not.
Oh, okay. So Sally kind of just like looks and her like brows are furrowed, and she's like, other than the polymorph of sorts on my body, I don't think there's anything else. I mean, you can remove that, you can try again. But I don't know if there's a way to do that. I've spent far longer of my life looking like this than I have anything else.
He kind of moves away, kind of like disgusted. Whatever you are no mortal creature I've ever fed upon before.
Oh, perhaps it's the hand. Oh my god, I'm sorry. And she kind of lifts her hand up and it does the like claw thing. Was it the blood of Christian Bale? I can't remember his name any other way.
It's just Bale. It's just Christian Bale, though. Yeah. He just says, no. Fiendish blood is fine. Whatever you are, it is different.
Sally's gonna kind of like bow her head and she goes, my apologies. I would not have had you drink my blood if I knew it would cause harm. I don't know what you're hinting at, and I don't know what any of that means. I'm honestly just an assassin. I don't have anything special. I don't have any reason to lie to you.
And like he goes over to like a table and like lifts it up and like throws it against the wall and it shatters. Why is there so much death?
I can't.
How have you died constantly?
Oh. That has something to do with the man Ellison. He corrupted the Feywild in such a way that every time we died, we would repeat history over and over again, trapped within the Feywild for near 30 years. Told you this is a very powerful, powerful man after your power, mister. Or lord. She would say lord, not mister.
Mr. Vampy Pants!
Mr. Very Hot Vampire, please turn me into one.
Not anymore.
Is this the new crush?
This is the crush. This is the crush, period. I want this man to turn me into a vampire, but I can't because of Ellison ruining my life at every turn.
He just, Telecender says, no. Whatever you are is unnatural. Nothing I've ever seen before. You're an abomination. And that's coming from me. But I see the face you speak of. And these compounding flips of death. So what you speak is true at least. Boy. And you see, I keep fucking forgetting his name.
Dominic.
Dominic.
God.
Dominic.
Dominic gets up from the water he was from. I'm like,
Kieran's silently snickering at Dominic being flung and hurt, and also just the boy part, just like
Boy. Such a shithead, Kieran.
yes, and
Dominic's just like, yes, my lord. Pick up the body. We have a ritual to complete. And like he hurries over and picks up the body and like taps some of the dust off just in case. And kind of like moves back. Fine. You are to be witness to something few have seen. Do not interfere. And he goes over to to Law's body and it's like singed clothes and just grabs it with one hand and rips it off, rips her clothes off. Dominic comes over and brings over like a same kind of black robe they're wearing and kind of drapes it over her. And he you see Telegrass just kind of like bite his wrist. Open up Law's mouth, and you see him, kind of his head like goes over her, and he opens his mouth like impossibly wide as you see this like mist open and flow out of it and go into her. As then he closes his own mouth and then drips, like he cuts open like his wrist like a lot, and like just the blackish blood kind of slops out, not drips but slops out down her throat. Slops out and closes her mouth. He kind of licks it and it seals back up. He steps back for a moment and it's silent in the room. And as silence hits the room, you see Law's body shake, twitch, contort. You hear moans and gurgles and bones break and shift and move. You see the slab that she's on start to crack and break. You feel this wave, this heat in this room as a side door is open. And you see 2 slaves brought in. And you see holding these slaves Triana. She walks in and
Those
sees
are my
you.
slaves.
She walks in and sees you and her eyes go wide. Kieran.
Are these familiar slaves?
Are these our slaves?
They are. Her eyes go wide as she looks like she's about to say something, but Dominic just kind of like puts a hand on her shoulder and takes the slaves. And
Which ones are they?
they're
It's important.
there's only like 2 kids. There's like 3 kids and like the adults and the parents. It's the 2 parents. Or the rest of us like the kids. But there's just the 2 parents that they brought in. They're like looking around, kind of emaciated. They see you, and their eyes go wide. And they're just like they're about to plead, but you see Dominic kind of like yank them forward. You see trying to like look at you, Kieran, like there's like worry and tears in her eyes, and she kind of like puts her hand in front of her face and kind of like runs over to a corner. As they're kind of brought in, they're like you see the chains being put towards the floor. What was you gonna say?
Oh no, I mean Kieran just Sally. Isn't there like a legal situation here? Because he doesn't technically own them.
He does not own them. But
I don't know if that's gonna hold any sway here.
Well, I'm sure he can hear every word you're saying, and I doubt he cares.
Probably not.
You hear ding.
I
Ding.
don't care about the slaves, but Neil might.
The children are safe. We can offer him the solace of knowing
They
we
better
can.
be safe, Kieran. It looks upset over at Triana.
She like doesn't like. She looks at you sheepishly through her hair, her like green eyes, like her blue eyes. Look at you.
That's one promise broken.
It's important to remember that those of the past do not always care about you in the present. They remember only ideas.
Tink, and you see that Dominic has been like pounding a stake into the ground where the parents are shackled. Actually have their names.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, just give us their names. Make us feel worse about this.
It's Hilda.
Hilda and Gunther.
Barrymore.
Yeah,
Yep,
Hilda
just
and
make
Gunther
us
very
feel
more.
worse about this.
They're like chained by the neck, and the chains go to this like stake in the ground that's been like dug, like slammed into like a groove, and they can't move out of it like cattle. Like kind of put there. You see Dominic kind of lick his lips and kind of smile and moves back as just the body contorts with Elizabeth Law in it. You see Telegrass's arms like rise out, and he just kind of speaks up, and he just kind of says, "Let those who have transcended life itself embrace the darkness. Come forward, my child. Embrace that which is new. Slough off that which is old. Life eternal is yours. May the shadows always embrace you. May the life of the cattle always enrich you. Come into the fold." And as he says this, he just says, "Step forward, my children." And you see Dominic step forward, and you see Triana step forward. As he puts a hand over both of his children. "You have both embraced the darkness. Both of you brought to my fold." He looks at both of them, and all the worry and fear that Triana had in her face goes away as she looks up at Telegrass like you would a doting parent or mentor. Kind of like he brushes the hair from her eyes, and you just see like reverence over Dominic's face. And as the last things happen, you see your bitch. You see Elizabeth Law's body like like stark up, and she's like sitting on like this half broken slab. She's looking around, and she pulls up the robe, like covering herself. She's looking around, and you see Sayali and Kieran, where half of her face was charred, starts like healing rapidly. She's like she's like dying around like an animal would caged. She's like and you just see Telegrass grab her shoulder. "Don't worry, you are with family. You are hungry. You are famished. Where am I? What's going on? Wait, is that Sayali? Kieran, what is happening here?" "No, look towards me, my child." She looks towards him, and you see this almost like docile look come over her face, but she kind of fights it. It's like, "No, look, feed, embrace what you are." And he grabs her and like slams her to the ground in front of the two slaves, and the two of them like, "No, please help us, please, Kieran, Sayali, please help us, please." And the woman's like, "My children, please, you said you would protect us, please." Elizabeth was like, "What's going?" That noise. That noise, what is that noise? What is that drumming? Why can I hear drumming? And you just hear Telegraph say, that is the heartbeat. Do any of you do anything?
Sally's gonna crunch her face, kind of like this. Get on with it, Elizabeth. We don't have the time.
And Kieran will look at Thalie, hear his response, and then he'll look and he'll make sure he looks right at this thing, like at what's happening. Like he's not gonna look away.
You hear Elizabeth like, what? The drumming. I can't stop the drumming. What is it? What's going on? What is it?
Law, you are stronger than this. Follow your heart. Do what you must do to survive or die.
She looks at you, and you just see where like her eyes are normally kind of like brown. They're just this like yellow, like a wolf's. And they just look at you and just like, and roll me a persuasion.
Well, I've already gotten one good persuasion roll, so that's probably the one.
She's just
She can
like,
charge-
hmm?
So she can charge me too. She can feed off me. We see what happens from there. But
Turn me, please.
make me a vampire.
She's like, and then you just see Telegraph like get impatient, and just he walks over to the two, picks up the man. Woman's like, please don't hurt him, Gunther, please, and just like breaks the guy's neck with like no effort at all, and like gets his like black fingernail, just like streaks it down the neck and down the chest. Blood just like spills all over, and like he just drops the body like he would like just like an animal. And Liz was like, I'm sorry, I can't. And she like charges over to it and just starts like feeding. The woman is like pulling against the chain, just like, please. And after a second, Elizabeth kind of goes up and now like kind of moves like a cat, almost even not even controlling her own body. Please, my children, Joffrey! And like it just attacks her and starts killing her. And as she
Before the
falls
woman's,
back, she falls back and like looks towards you as her eyes kind of gaze at both of you.
Before the lights completely go out, Sally wants to send a message to her,
Mm-hmm.
to the woman, and she's just going to say, "I've done everything I can to try and keep you safe, and I have failed. But I assure you that will not be the fate of your children. I'm sorry for this, but your children will see adulthood."
You don't know if what you've said has caught on, but you get a response, not simply because she's responding to you, but because she's just speaking in her mind, and she's just saying, Joffrey, Lily, Jacob, I'm sorry, and it kind of fades.
Kieran makes sure, and then, like when she's looking at him, he's looking right back at her. Not too much of an expression on his face, but he will bear witness to this.
And as this happens, some time goes by, maybe like 5 minutes, feels like nothing, where she has killed both of them, drained them incredibly quickly. And you see Telegraph kind of come over and drape that black robe with golden trim around them. He kind of like raises her up, kind of like embraces her in a hug and just says, it's all right. You did what you had to. Immortality is yours. Strength is yours. I understand you have questions. but you have a task to do. And then we can talk. And he kind of guides her to like the seat. And like he kind of like bends down like close to her ear and looks towards both of you. And addresses both of you and just says, "You may ask her your questions."
Thank you, Lord Telegas. It seems that you do remember us, Elizabeth. I know it has been quite some time for you since we've last spoke, and I understand you are going through a lot, being enslaved after losing everything and now being a new form of life. But I must ask, why did you send us to the Feywild to suffer?
What do you mean? It's all just jumble. All I remember is the pain of the flames around my face.
Focus, Elizabeth. You are a strong leader. You've seen countless pain. You've fought through it all. Fight through this. Help us.
And she's just like, she's kind of shaking and convulsing. She's like, wipes her mouth and realizes there's blood on her mouth, on her mouth and on her arm. Kind of realizing what she's done. It's just kind of like hitting her. Her eyes are like a stark yellow. And as this kind of happens, she just kind of does it. Roll me a persuasion check.
I'm playing fast
With
and loose.
advantage, I think, for this.
Beautiful. Oh, some good rolls.
She just kind of says, and like you see her breathing get slower and slower. And then the eyes kind of dart down and flick up to you. You see that steel look in her eyes that you're used to. Someone that has like lived the life of a mercenary and seen stuff. She just says, "Yes, I sent you on that mission because I was asked to. I was asked to give those of specific talents by name." He said his name was Mordenkainen. And he asked for you four specifically. I do not know why. But he says that the fate of Earth depended on it.
Two more questions and I'll let you be to continue on your new life. Second question. Who else of the Gilded Glaive was sent to the Feywild to perish? And she kind of sifts around and lifts up the other fanny pack of the corpse man.
You were not the first that I was asked to take. There was someone by the name of Lofbrun. My brother. He was supposed to be a guide when you got there.
Sorry for your loss, Elizabeth. I found him deep within a temple of Tharizdun. My final question. What happened to the Gilded Glaive?
We were on routine missions, standard. I had started working closely with Mordenkainen in the Circle when I started having reports that there were people in the city of Foriandi who were worshipping Ayuz, planning to bring some kind of upheaval, some kind of war to not only Greyhawk but to all of Earth. They spoke to the nobleman in question, a Lucian. being rebuffed. I guess I got my answer. I always prided the guild in being just in what we did, never taking on mercenary gigs that would go against the right. But look at me now. I accepted all of you, knowing your pasts, having an inkling of your intentions, seeing a difference in them, knowing that they could be turned to good.
Well, Elizabeth, I can't say we've done the right thing, but we're trying. I know this is hard for you, though I've never liked you very much. I feel like you're in good hands. I don't know the true intentions of the Lord Telegas, but I would say to guard him with the remaining of your undead life, because there are enemies everywhere. And with that, Sally's going to turn away. She's not going to walk away, she's just going to turn to face the door.
You hear him say, "Oh, this one won't be to me. This one will be an emissary for me." And like Law looks towards him. "Do not worry. You will always be my child." And kind of like cups her chin, almost like lovingly. "You
Sally's
will
not
always be
wanting
my
this.
child. But you will be working with someone called Eclavdra."
Sally's gonna freeze! Oh god, I gotta have Elizabeth Law in our party. Sally's gonna turn back around. Well, it seems quite interesting because we are currently on our way to see Eclavdra.
You are.
We too have work to do for the great lady.
This one was supposed to be purchased at the auction for her. I made sure her interests stayed keen.
Too bad about that auction, but if we are to go, suppose Elizabeth, if you'd like to join us.
She gets up and then like you see Telegas force her down. "She is not ready yet. She will join you in a day. Go on ahead. Tell her Telegas has blessed you."
Is Triana still in the room?
She is, yeah. She's kind of just like looking over towards you. If you give her like an indication that she can come over, she'll like come over. But she's
I think
kind of like
Ki-
waiting for you.
I mean, if we're turning to go now, Sally.
If you have any words to say, you should say them. Just make
I
sure
think
she's
Kieran wants to motion
fucking dog.
for her to talk outside of this room.
You kind of walk out and you give her a look and give her like maybe like a head nod. She looks
Like a
towards
nod,
you,
yeah.
and it's just kind of like runs towards the door and like she looks towards Telegas, and Telegas seems to like look apathetic, like he doesn't care, and she takes it as like an acceptance to do what she can do, and she kind of runs out. And as the doors kind of close, you're in that main hall that I said before. And she kind of says as the doors close behind her, "Kieran, I'm so sorry."
Are you his thrall?
"No, I'm
Is
not."
he the one who brought you back from death?
"Yes. I am like Dominic.
A pet.
I am his child."
Now, when you all keep saying child, you mean his
Pet.
undead. Can we assume that Kieran knows what a vampire is?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They're
You
his
mean
children.
his undead vampire spawn.
Yes. We had to continue his legacy and train. Told you I was training under Telegas.
Hmm. Well, on one hand, I'm glad you're not under my mother's thumb. On the other,
Sorry, I would have told you. I just thought you.
those were not your slaves. You said I asked you to bring them back here and keep them safe. Where are the rest?
They're safe.
Are they safe? Or are they just food for later?
No, they're children. I would never. I still have my own emotions. I'm not some undead creature.
And yet, you broke the first promise we've had in over 30 years. More. 40 years, I think, almost by this point.
Dominic saw what I was doing, asked what I was doing, said that we needed people for the ritual. He assumed that I'd gotten them. If I had refused, I might have gotten suspicious. I got the Luma Lizard, I got the children, they're safe.
You could have... Telegath is clearly powerful. You are clearly well off. You could have gotten any number of slaves. But I am not the one you have to answer to. We're done here, Sally.
Sally looks at the woman one hard time. If anything happens to those children, so help me God, it is not impossible to kill a vampire.
Same with the Lumo Lizard as
Guard
well.
those children and the lizard as if they were your own until we return. If not, I will hunt you until the ends of the earth, you stupid bitch. And she turns and walks past her, and she shoulder checks her while she does.
Kieran gives her one last look and then turns away and follows Sally.
And as you go down the steps, we see...
Bye, Heather.
Bye! As you go down the steps, we see you kind of walking towards the tower. We see her looking over the bridge, staring at you, seeming able to see you through the distance. And we see her crying as a vampire tends to love strongly. And then we just see her eyes narrow and her tears dry up, and she looks towards you and just says, as we kind of hear her under her breath, "You will love me."
I'm gonna
And
rip this bitch in half.
that's where we'll end it for today.
Oh my god, Neil's gonna kill me! Neil's gonna be so angry.
And
His
you
boy, Liberty Freedom is still safe though, so.
Liberty of freedom.
Yeah, liberty, freedom.
He has a name, goddammit. This is why you don't get
Yeah.
slaves.
Liberty, freedom.
Liberty,
Flies
freedom.
free. It's up on a
Nice.
flagpole.
Wow. So today was a rough episode.
Yeah, I didn't even go too far in it because I know you're gonna be out for a week, so I kind of want to have everyone go down and kind of move forward to kind of as a group, so they wouldn't miss that. So I'm gonna miss not having the mum of the group for a week, but as we all know, when you're not around, shit
Shit
goes
really
cray
happens.
cray. So you make
Yeah.
us come back to an entire Irahai Sinlu exploded.
I feel like every time either Bree or myself has missed a session, something awful happens. So I don't know if it's that 4 is the magic number, and if there aren't 4 people here, or if it's just that the 2 of us, one or the other, is the one who handles things.
Seraphina has that mom mentality where she moms them to death. Sally goes, I will stab all of you if you don't shut the fuck up and listen. We both have different parenting styles, but we work together as a very powerful lesbian mom couple.
Yeah.
But like Seraphine at the same time gets us
But
into a lot of trouble.
I also do a lot of really stupid stuff. So
You know what it is? Both of you check the boys.
we have to be together.
Right,
yeah.
but you
Between the two
two
of you,
check
you
each
form one
other.
parent.
You two
Form
check
one
each
full
other.
parent between the two of you.
It's like, is
Together
it?
we make one parent, one soft and one very hard parent come together to create. When we are apart, parenting is just a mess.
We're the right and the left hand of parenting.
Mm-hmm. So I have one question for Tame, which is a burning question that many people, and I know Kika kind of wants to know the answer to this as well. Is having sex with a vampire necrophilia?
I mean, they are undead.
God.
It's necrophilia
Hold on.
adjacent.
Jason.
Let me look.
Nice. But yeah,
Okay.
you
Well,
boned a
here's
vampire.
the question you have to answer: are undead corpses?
No, they're not.
Well, the main thing is just whether or not the creature can consent. It is all about consent in that matter. I believe because a vampire is able to consent, it goes from necrophilia to just very kinky intercourse.
Yeah, but
True.
necrophilia is also attraction towards corpses as well.
I mean, you liked her pretty much.
I didn't know she
you
was
were
a
like,
vampire.
hey, Triana.
I didn't know she was a vampire.
Dead and then no longer dead.
Knowledge.
It was great.
In fact, this is.
But let's go run your casting crew, see what we thought of it, where we can find each other, and all that good stuff. And let's start with our leaving party member for a week. Tiz, hey.
Hello. You can find me on Twitter at @Tiz_aliens or at Monster Crushing, which is a podcast that I host. I will not be here next week because I will be hurtling over the ocean in a metal bird with my cat. So unfortunately, I will not be able to attend, but I will be back the next week. So please don't do anything wildly stupid in the basement dark. But
To get there.
I know that I can't ask too much of you. Just that when I come back, I would like to not be in jail. And
That's where you met your husband.
so it's true. It's where I met my husband, which I think is I think that'll be a fun story that we can tell people later on. Like, how did
Tell
you
your children.
hello. But this was such a fun session. I love when we're all together, but I've also really liked the dynamic when we're all apart. And I think especially because Neil and Seraphina have such a different relationship than Kieran and Sayali. And so it's really interesting to fluctuate between those two. I would actually love to see in the future different pairings of separation, but as much as I love us all working together, I think it's really fun to see what we're like 2-on-2.
Yeah.
And we don't know if we can rely on the other because at this point we do kind of know that we're all going to be working together, but for a while we weren't sure. So we thought we had to do everything on our own, and it's really interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I really like the dynamic. I do like the kind of pairing off stuff because we get to see like a nice little kind of character arcs where your characters become like people and you actually like intermingle with each other and doing your own little stuff. So I definitely agree. Be sure to check out Tiz and all those stuff that you do. Did you mention your podcast?
Yeah, so I have a podcast where we talk about monsters and cryptids and aliens and all fun paranormal stuff. And you can also catch me on Wednesday. I will be on Greyhawk with Sean, who will be DMing. Ooh, is that a secret? Okay, it's not a secret. Woo!
It's not anymore.
Too late.
Rise! I don't know what time it is. So catch me at some time. I will be there.
Just catch Tiz. That's
Just
the.
just watch me always.
Watch-
And find me.
Moving on from that to Sean. Hey.
Hi. So, yes, Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, Mordenkainen's Path of the Plains. Shane normally runs it, but he's going to be missing a few weeks because of his real life job. So I'm kind of doing a chapter 2 where the players play other characters. And so what I did was I got Heavenly to jump in because Ellie plays in that game, and Ellie and Heavenly are friends in real life. So I wanted to see them together with Kelly, the Opera Geek, and Zippy. So they're all making 8th level characters. They're going to go to the astral plane, and I'll be using lore from all sorts of old stuff, but especially some 4th edition books that I really love. So we'll be doing that, and they'll be Mordenkainen got blown into a bunch of pieces of himself, so this group is going to go get one of those pieces back. And I also run Secrets of Castle Greyhawk every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. We're going through the Lost Library of Qualish, which is a freaking awesome 5th edition adventure you can get in the DM's Guild. It's really, really good, so you want to check it out. Although there is a little bit of technology in it. I know Ellie doesn't like that, so I know some people don't like that. So just so you know, there are laser guns and force pikes in there. So
Nice.
I think those are the 2 Greyhawk related things that I'm doing. So yeah, and and then I don't know if you know this, but on Saturdays I run Waterdeep Dragonized, and was Tommy a guest star on the last one? Yes, he was, and his character was, not too dissimilar from Kieran, a little crabby, a little dark, a little moody, and his character had the gall to try to attack Jarlaxle.
My defense, I did not know it was Jarlaxle. He was in disguise.
Yes, in his Stardust Zord full body man thong, and so Tommy will be back this Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Probably gonna die.
To see, I know it's gonna be really weird, but we'll see what happens next. So, thanks.
Nice. Be sure to check out that and all the good stuff that Sean does. Super awesome. Thank you for playing. Really appreciate it. And jumping from you to Tommy. Huh?
Oh my god, that episode, man! These last couple episodes have been very I mean, this whole thing has been very role play heavy, but this has been really intense emotional role play. Especially for Kieran. He's just on this roller coaster of who the fuck is everyone, because I don't seem to know anyone anymore. And it's just been a roller coaster for him. As I was saying earlier, I love the dynamic of the mom and son duo, and then where they very much kind of care for each other, and then Zaylee and Kieran, where we're just like, should we fuck him up? No. Yes.
The permanent question.
Yeah, where we have a very professional relationship. We have an understanding of we are both cold trained killers, and
we both smash, and not in a fun way. Wow, Kieran.
Oh, Kieran, we're not going to go into that rabbit hole today. Kieran has some real soul searching to do there. But yes, I'm Imperative Pengu on Twitter. I do tabletop and video game stuff. Follow me there to find out everything I'm doing when it's happening. But just a little overview. I am tonight. I am over on Tales from the Grim at 9 p.m. Eastern with the second episode of our Lady Blackbird campaign, where I swear I don't play snarky, edgy, dark characters in every campaign, Sean, just around you. But I play the sweet and lovable, naive Lord Blackbird, where everything's a romance novel. On Tuesdays, I am over on Pro's channel with our Dungeon World campaign at 1 p.m. Eastern, which is shaping up to be awesome. Come from Mafia Horses. Mafia horses
Yeah.
are a thing in this world. And then over on Fridays, I'm back on Tales from the Grim with at 9 p.m. with Invisible Sun. I think we should be a go this week. I think we'll actually have people there this week. And then on Saturday, as Sean said, I'll be guesting on his channel. Follow me on Twitter. I will announce everything I'm doing there.
Nice. Yeah, be sure to check out all that good stuff. Tommy is a great delight to kind of roleplay with and having games. Speaking of a great delight to roleplay with, Ray, hey.
Hello! It's NPC Bree, 2E's on Twitter. That's where you can find me. I spend almost all of my time there. You can also find me here on the Greyhawk channel all the time. I'm here today at this time. I'm also here on Sunday nights. Every other Monday night, not tonight, but next Monday, I am on Soulbear RPG, where I play in Comedy of Strahd, the funniest way to be around vampires. Nothing better. Mordenkainen is a cat, and my character Darla, who kind of like just talks like this and doesn't really understand why we're playing D&D. She now owns Mordenkainen the cat, so that's fun. You can also find me on Thursdays at like 5 Eastern on Encounter Roleplay, where I play in another very funny game called Once Upon a Time. It's a viewer game that is Shrek meets Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And just keep following off on my Twitter, because starting in March, I will be DMing on this channel, so keep track of all that good stuff.
Yeah. And super awesome. And yeah, thank you for watching. If you're watching this here on live on Twitch or on YouTube, that was it. That was the game. I've been ProRestarter. Catch me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. My full list and what I do is all there. We're gonna go and think about sweet vampire bites and how we want to be vampires. Bye.